So this is the Melitta Caffeo Barista TS model, which is a coffee maker of extravagant proportions in all ways. As you can see, it's a large machine that takes up the depth of the surface. When you first plug it in and turn it on, it will set your language preferences, you set the time, and you also set your water hardness level, which it provides you with a dip strip so that you can test your own water and set it accordingly. Next step is to fill the machine. Now back here is the water canister. If you put the machine underneath a cupboard, it lifts upwards, so it's going to be quite tricky if it were underneath. Here's the water canister here. As you can see, it's already full, so I'm not going to refill it some more. The measurement levels are on there, and if it dips below the ½ litre down there, the machine will tell you and will stop working, so you never have to worry of the machine operating dry. Up on the top here are your coffee beans. You can see those in there. There's 2 bays for the coffee beans. The one on the left here is for your dark roast, for your espressos, and on the right here is for your light roast, for cappuccinos, etc. As it happens, I've only got one type of coffee bean, so I've got them both the same at the moment. There's also this area here, which I'm not going to lift because it'll tell me that's what I'm going to do, where you can actually add already ground coffee in if that's what you are wanting to use. So it's an all singing, all dancing coffee machine with a large amount of options on the front here, but can it make a good cup of coffee the way you want it? Well, frankly, if you can't make this machine make you a decent cup of coffee, then you better go back to a kettle, because it can do absolutely everything. So first of all, here we select which bean we want. Bean 1 or bean 2. I'll go back to bean 1. This is where we select the strength of the roast. Now if that's up to full, that's a really, really strong cup of coffee. You're talking stand your spoon on it, up in it espresso. Personally, I prefer just a middle roast here. And this is the size of the cup. I've got a relatively small mug size there, which I find just below maximum. The smallest one down here is just a small espresso shot. This up here is a standard mug size. And so I'm quite partial to a latte, which is this one here. So I'm going to say a latte. Thank you very much, Mr. Machine. Now whilst that's busy grinding the beans for me, this is the milk dispenser, which has a little tube here, which we just fix into here. Obviously if you choose a black option, then you're not going to need the milk dispenser attached. You see up here, it's just checking the temperature of the milk. So exciting. Then once that's finished making you your absolutely perfect coffee, it immediately says, do you want me to clean that for you now? And then what you need to do is simply add another dish in here and say, yes, thank you. And then we take the tube from here, which is a bit tricky one-handed, and we place it into the drip tray. And then we say, yep, I've done that. can drink the coffee as it cleans. I don't know if you can see in the tube there. It's still cleaning and running. You can see it running through the tube, it's cleaning all the milk out the system. And then it's ready to make another cup. Cleaning the Caffeo Barista couldn't be simpler, although maybe a little tricky one-handed. I tend to leave the milk tube sitting in the drip tray, so it's just a case of disconnecting that, lifting off the grill, and then moving this forwards. I'm not going to attempt to lift it one-handed, but as you can see there's drip tray at the front, and then at the back, hopefully you can tell, there we go. So you have the grounds in this compartment here, and also extra, I presume that's leftover coffee, in that side. Now that's just a case of lifting and removing. Now the barista actually comes with set recipe options as well. So if you press and hold the menu button and go to direct keys, you can choose that any time you have a cafe crema, it will actually use a particular recipe. So you can always have an Americano with an extra shot, a long black, however you choose your perfect one to be, and then you just exit back out. And now next time, or any time you use the cafe crema symbol, which is this one at the top here, you'd end up with an Americano instead. So Melitta's Caffeo Barista TS model is a fantastic coffee machine that's so flexible there's no way that it couldn't make you with any coffee that you wanted to have, in any way that you wanted to have it. It is a deep, large machine. As you can see, it fills the work surface, and you do need to be aware that it has some height above it for taking that water canister out. The milk container, this one here, can be used on the left or the right. It's flexible to be used either way, and when you're not using it, it can just be tucked into a cupboard out of sight, or you keep it in the fridge with the milk staying cool in it, obviously. It's definitely worth setting up and taking a little time to get to know, because once you've got to know this machine, I don't think you'll ever change it for another one.